The SABC and the Department of Basic Education have launched a multimedia learner support initiative under the banner COVID-19 Learner Support. Now, the programs are aimed at limiting the impact of the lockdown to the school calendar. The initiative is part of the broader efforts to prevent a total loss of school year since the lockdown was announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa as a measure to combat the spread of the coronavirus known as COVID-19. This initiative is also launched in anticipation of the mid-year exams that are due in June 2020. We're now joined via Skype by Gugu Ntuli, who's the SABC's Group Executive for Corporate Affairs and Marketing. Thanks so much indeed for joining us, Ms. Ntuli. Tell us a little bit more about this initiative.
Oh, Peter, thank you for having me. I think as the SABC, the public broadcaster, we are fully committed, first of all, to adhering and delivering on our public mandate. And more importantly now, we have a very important role to play in ensuring that the people of South Africa are not only informed with credible information, but important information that will save their lives around COVID-19 on all our platforms, TV, radio, as well as digital. And also just to be consistent with the national drive to reduce the spread of the pandemic. So in order to ensure that our learners don't fall behind, as soon as we understood the impact that this pandemic will have, we initiated a campaign around our SABC Virtual Academy, which is called SIVA, to ensure that content is available digitally to learners to be able to access their subjects, video content, materials, etc., etc. Over and above that, we realized that not everybody has access to digital platforms. So it was very important that we continue to partner with the Department of Basic Education, with whom we have been partnering since 1997, to ensure that content is available on a wider scale. As a consequence, we have actually opened up all of our channels, SABC 1, 2, and 3, to carry more educational content as of tomorrow, as well as across 13 of our radio stations.
All right, so typically, what can a learner expect when they tune in from tomorrow?
So we have been very successful as the SABC in promoting curriculum-based content. And we will continue to do so on this particular platform and ensure that subjects such as English, maths, science, life sciences, as well as some indigenous languages are available to grade 10s up to grade 12, as well as early childhood development.
Right. Will there be an opportunity for some of these to be interactive? I remember when I was much younger, we had some of these famous teachers would take phone calls and things like that. Is that something that's going to be part of this or planned?
At this juncture, I think that the Department of Education would have more information on that. However, we certainly have teachers on standby. We have a great deal of material that the department is actually prepared to ensure that learners are adequately supported.
All right. And is this all grades that are going to be catered for? Because I would imagine the matric students are probably stressing the most.
Absolutely. And I think that we have seen over the years that our stats in terms of matric results have really been improving. And we believe that this partnership has a lot to do with those kinds of results. Therefore, we don't want that momentum to start being slowed down. So very much catering for matriculants, but also, as I mentioned, grade 10, 11, as well as matrics, as well as early childhood development, because as we know, we don't want them to fall behind. It will become very, very difficult when they come mid-year and have to start their curriculum from scratch.
All right. So I guess this is in response particularly to these initiatives, the state of national disaster, then the national lockdown. But is this something that you're considering to carry on post these lockdowns? just as added support once this infrastructure has been set up?
Absolutely, Peter. I think that the SABC, as I mentioned, has had a partnership with the Department of Education for many, many years now. So education is very much a core of the business and what we actually do. Apart from that, delivering on our educational mandate to the public. Most definitely that there are plans to ensure that there's continuity going forward to provide such services readily for learners in South Africa. Already, as I mentioned, we have a SEVA program that has been living on our digital platforms. We have digital libraries. We have run programs together with the department on teachers' excellence as well as spelling bee for young ones. So most definitely a more comprehensive rollout in terms of learning supported by the SABC is on the cards.
All right, and then perhaps finally, where can people get the schedule of these educational interactions that learners can tune into at various times?
The Department of Education's Basic Education's website has all that information available currently, as well as the SABC Education platform. More detail will be available on there.
All right, Gugu Ntuli, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much indeed for joining us and giving us an understanding of how SABC Education is working with the Department of Basic Education to provide this educational support to all our learners in the country during this difficult time.